Welcome to Velma episodes 5 and 6. I'm sure you're all so excited about this one. We're now at the halfway point in this man-hating propaganda push where Mindy Kaling spends all of HBO Max's money on animating teenage girls twerking on adult cops and making herself the center of attention by inserting her insufferable personality into a character that we all love and cherish, well, at least we used to, and outright disfiguring her from the inside out. The irony, I suppose, is that by removing Velma's intellect and lovable personality, she now has nothing else to talk about, and she's just an irredeemable jerk now. Oh no, we made Velma a racist and a sexist all the time, so naturally those are the only things she ever talks about. Quick, throw them a plot episode or something so they'll keep watching. Kind of sad when you think about it. I mean, only 6 episodes in and they've already told every white person joke in the book? Where are they gonna go from here? They're almost out of steam! I guess it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that they're trying to actually tell a story now. Imagine sitting through it like I did. 3 weeks straight of and now that the show is halfway over, the characters are finally saying, "So anyway, we found out that this house was owned by this lady and it might solve your mom's disappearance and help us find the killer." No. You don't get to inject substance into your televised temper tantrum. Not after what you've put us through. I still haven't recovered from the premiere episode and that was weeks ago. But if you'd like to see my reviews on the previous Velma episodes, you can find the links in my description. Funny enough, many people who've been drawn to this show as of late are tuning in just to see how bad it is. And yet Mindy and the gang are continuing to write it off as a win. Why? Because they're all a bunch of depraved liars. Also, pay zero mind to the fact that the former voice actress for Daphne despises it. Clearly, she's just a hate watcher like the rest of us. Jeez, Mindy. You couldn't even get the other Daphne to love you. That must hit you right in the feels. It really throws a wrench in the women gotta stick together narrative that Velma vomits at everyone in the show. Even the media has turned against Mindy and no one's believing any of the lies that she tells in interviews. "I've been such a big fan of Scooby-Doo my whole life. This show is my love letter to the series." No, it is not. Okay, come on. You're not a fan of Scooby-Doo. A real fan of Scooby-Doo would never even dream of curb stomping on the franchise in the way that you have. No shame whatsoever. Is anyone shocked? If that's any indication of what you can expect from this video, then prepare yourself, because you can't possibly anticipate how bad it's actually getting unless you sit down yourself and watch it, which I don't recommend. It is so mind-numbingly dumb that at this point, I'd much rather read The Feminine Mystique 3 times a day and write a rhetorical thesis on it than spend one more precious second of my life on this. Oh, see? Even Plato would rather do that. This is why you and I are so close, Plato. You know exactly what I'm thinking, and you agree with me. I'm not being mushy. You're being mushy. Anyway, I hope you're glad you waited an entire week because the buildup from the last episode leads to a meaningless subplot with Daphne, of course, where she discovers that her parents are 2 Asian criminals dressed up as Captain Caveman. Gotta milk that Hanna-Barbera franchise for what it's worth, right? Look, they were even able to slip the Jetsons in there. Gosh, such huge fans of the source material. But what are Daphne's Asian criminal parents doing underneath the town? Illegally mining and selling crystals, absolutely. And guess what? Daphne's not only down with it, she helps them commit these crimes, just like the original Daphne. Oh, wait a second. Whoa, that doesn't sound right. This subplot is so worthless. It does not contribute to the main story at all, and it goes on for 2 whole episodes. It's a hair-pulling thing. Who are my parents? I can't trust my 2 lesbian police moms to tell me the truth. Oh, who cares? Who cares? Meanwhile, not Shaggy is busy simping for Gigi while she helps him regain his confidence, because I guess a nice guy who doesn't do drugs and goes out of his way to help others constantly is obviously deprived of confidence. He needs help stat. Good job, Gigi. So glad you're in the show. Hope you don't get killed in future episodes. Don't worry, it gets way better. Fred is now simping for Velma for 2 episodes straight, and then he gets into a fling with a Russian stripper, which, of course, his friends are completely okay with. Yeah, I can already hear the red flags popping up in your brains. Ding, 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 ding. Trust me, okay, I feel the same way, and I also feel it's only fair to mention Fred is a teenage boy who has not yet hit puberty. Oh yeah, it's bad out here, folks. You have Mindy Kaling and her genius producers blurring the lines of the age of consent. Fred can bang a Russian stripper in her late 30s. 16-year-old girls can twerk on grown police officers. And Velma can dance on a pole while grown men look on sexualizing her. Incredible work, Mindy. I can't possibly put my finger on why other people aren't on board with your vision. I'm just so shocked. Speaking of Velma on a stripper pole, I bet you're wondering why she's doing that in the first place. No? Well, I don't blame you, but I'm still going to tell you anyway, because guess what? It's the main plot of the entire 6th episode. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, Velma has daddy issues. Yeah, I'm not even joking. The hallucinations she's been suffering from the whole time, it's not due to some childhood trauma she's suppressed or because of her mom or anything like that. It's because she doesn't feel loved by her daddy. Aww, stupid dads being emotionless, toxic workaholics. Why are men so cruel and evil? The world would be so much better without them. After episode 5, which, besides the dumb Daphne subplot, is really just Velma starving her marching band classmates to death for 20 minutes straight, we finally get to learn a little bit about the show's overarching mystery, which goes a little something like this. In the 60s, meddling kids didn't like going to war, so a crazy military general who did like going to war pretended to be a hippie to convince people to like war. But the hippies were too smart and used a technique called mask pulling to foil the general's plans. I am not making this up. These are literally the words that they use. After using masks didn't work, the general then tried hypnosis to get people to like war. But wow, what a big surprise. That didn't work either. Those hippies are just way too smart. Makes you wonder why Norville wasn't just made into a smart hippie like Shaggy. Imagine if Shaggy was wearing a cardigan. He'd be unstoppable. So after all of his ideas go kaput, the general decides, what if we put soldier brains into the heads of kids and call it Scooby? Yeah, you heard me right. Scooby. Special Covert Operations Brain Initiative, to be exact. Oh man, you can tell how bad Mindy is at putting Easter eggs in this show, since right after she hears this, she goes, but wait, what did Scooby do? Lord have mercy on my soul. This is bad. This is so bad. You would think that since this whole series was inspired by Scooby-Doo, that they'd show him a little more respect, or at the very least, try to be clever with their Easter egg insertions, but no. Scooby-Doo is named after a secret military operation because of course he is. They couldn't even come up with a word for the first O in Scooby. They're not even trying. These people don't give two flying rats hindquarters about the Scooby-Doo franchise. I know that many people are asking how most of the scripts got past the writer's room, but dude, seriously, how did this get past the writer's room? And while we're on the subject of how things come to be for the future Mystery Gang, the word jinkies gets the exact same treatment and is somehow related to the mystery. Oh my god, the word jinkies is on the ground. I'll just say the word out loud to please fans. Jinkies. Wow, she said jinkies. Never mind the fact that it's just sitting on the floor for everyone to find and talk about. Such lazy, incompetent, ridiculous writing. Let me guess. Velma's mom has had her brain swapped. She's also the killer, and the only way to bring her back is by Velma saying the word jinkies. I don't even care. Sweet heavens, this is worse than the time when Galadriel turned a symbol sideways and it blew her mind. I mean, I always suspected that another TV series would come along and give Rings of Power a run for its money, but I never anticipated that it would be this soon and be this catastrophic. Now, to be fair, and believe me, it is really difficult to be fair with this show, there was one slightly funny moment, and that was in a scene with Fred, where he demanded that the pizza guy remake the pizzas he ordered all over again because of a lack of meat toppings, and then he slaps the boxes against the wall, spilling them everywhere, okay? That one got a chuckle out of me. It did. As the saying goes, a broken clock is right twice a day. Unfortunately, not even Velma can live up to that saying, though, as it's a broken clock that was only right once over the course of 2 episodes. That's sad. This series is sad, and I feel bad for the animators. What a waste of their talents. And I'm betting that the writers of Velma are going to try really hard to pull out all the stops for the finale and just dump the rest of the plot on us in the span of 30 seconds where we can barely catch it and have to rewind 1,000 times just to keep up. Maybe if Mindy and crew had spent less time bashing on white people for existing or for men being men and spent more time getting psychological help for their obvious hatred of the world outside of their nonsensical echo chambers, perhaps the conceptualization of the show might have been improved, or better yet, prevented. Oh well, hate watchers unite! I hope you enjoyed my review. Like and share this video, and if you're up for seeing more of my content, consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Say goodbye, Play-Doh. Meow meow.